The taste of coffee lingered on his lips as Emma pulled away, her hands still trembling against his chest. She'd only meant to perform CPR, not change both their lives forever. But as billionaire Ethan Ward's eyes fluttered open, something electric passed between them. Something neither could have predicted when she'd walked into his penthouse office to empty the trash bins just minutes earlier. Hey everyone, if you're loving this story already, please hit that like button and subscribe to T channel for more incredible life-changing journeys like Emma and Ethan's. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. Emma Martinez had always been invisible. At 32, she moved through the gleaming skyscraper like a ghost, pushing her cleaning cart through marble hallways while executives in tailored suits walked past without a glance. Tonight was supposed to be like any other. Finish her shift, pick up her 8-year-old daughter, Lily, from the neighbor's apartment, and collapse into bed before doing it all again tomorrow. But fate had other plans when she heard the thud from behind the mahogany doors of the CEO's office. The man on the floor was a stranger and yet instantly recognizable. Ethan Ward, 38, self-made tech billionaire and owner of the building she cleaned. His face was plastered across magazines and billboards throughout the city. Now that face was turning blue, his body convulsing as he clutched at his throat. Emma didn't hesitate. Her CPR training from her previous job as a daycare worker kicked in. She rolled him onto his back, tilted his head, and pressed her lips to his, breathing life back into him. 1 breath, 2 breaths. When his eyes snapped open and he gasped for air, the half-eaten sandwich on his desk told the story, a severe allergic reaction. "You saved my life," he whispered hoarsely, staring at her with intense gray eyes that seemed to truly see her for the first time. "Anyone would have done the same," Emma replied, already backing away, suddenly aware of their positions, her in her gray uniform, him in his custom suit now rumpled on the floor. "No," he said, catching her wrist with surprising gentleness. "They wouldn't have." That night changed everything, though Emma didn't know it yet as she hurried home to Lily, trying to forget the warmth of his skin against hers. The next day, Emma arrived at work to find herself summoned to the executive floor. Her heart pounded as she rode the elevator, certain she was about to be fired for overstepping boundaries. Instead, she found Ethan waiting, standing tall and composed as if their floor encounter had never happened. "I'd like to thank you properly," he said, his voice carrying the confidence of a man accustomed to being obeyed. "Dinner, perhaps," Emma almost laughed. "Mr. Ward, I appreciate the gesture, but I have a daughter waiting at home." Something flickered in his eyes. Surprise, perhaps, that someone would decline his invitation. "Bring her," he said simply. That dinner, at a restaurant far too expensive for Emma's comfort, was the beginning. Lily, with her gap-toed smile and endless questions, charmed Ethan completely. Emma watched in amazement as the notorious workaholic billionaire patiently explained how airplanes stay in the sky to her curious daughter. "Mommy cleans 15 offices every night," Lily announced proudly over dessert. "And she's going to school to be a nurse someday." Emma's cheeks burned with embarrassment, but Ethan's expression showed only interest. "Is that so?" he asked, his eyes never leaving Emma's face. "It was before Lily's father left. Now it's just a dream," Emma admitted, wishing her daughter hadn't revealed so much. The weeks that followed were surreal. Ethan appeared in the hallways during her shifts, bringing coffee and conversation. He asked about her life, her struggles, her abandoned nursing school applications. He listened in a way no one had in years. "Why are you doing this?" Emma finally asked one night after he'd insisted on walking her to her bus stop. "Because you saw me," he answered simply. Not the billionaire, not the CEO, just a man who needed help. Their worlds couldn't have been more different. Emma's tiny 2-bedroom apartment in the struggling part of town was a universe away from Ethan's penthouse overlooking the city. Her life revolved around discount grocery shopping and juggling bills, his around board meetings and investment portfolios. Yet, something undeniable was growing between them. Something that terrified Emma more than any financial hardship ever had. "He's just grateful," she told her best friend and neighbor Rosa, who watched Lily after school. "Once the novelty wears off, he'll move on to someone who makes sense in his world." Rosa rolled her eyes. "And if he doesn't?" Emma had no answer for that. The city's most eligible bachelor's sudden interest in an unknown woman didn't go unnoticed. 3 months after their first meeting, Em opened her apartment door to find reporters waiting. The headlines the next day were brutal. Ward's charity case, billionaire's latest fling with cleaning staff. And from rags to riches, janitor seduces tech mogul. Emma was devastated. Worse, other parents at Lily's school had seen the articles. Her daughter came home in tears after being teased. "I'm ending this," Emma told Ethan that night, standing in his office after hours, her uniform still on. "Whatever this is between us, it's hurting my daughter." Ethan's face hardened. "I can handle the press." "This isn't about the press." Emma's voice rose. "It's about reality. Look at me, Ethan. Look at where I come from, what I do. I clean toilets in your building. This fantasy we've been living can't last. Is that what you think this is? A fantasy?" His voice was dangerously quiet. "What else could it be?" Cheers threatened, but Emma refused to let them fall. "Men like you don't end up with women like me except in fairy tales." "I